What? What it is, guys? It's your boy BlastphamousHD, and I've got great news and bad news. The great news is Fearsome Tops 5 just came out with a brand new scary video. The terrible news is we about to watch that mug. Let's just do it. Oh God. I didn't mean to start the video. It was an accident. My thumb pressed it. I'm not scared.
Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Get ready to witness 8 scary videos of paranormal activity. Number 1. A Reddit user named Miguel works as a janitor at a security building in Phoenix, Arizona. While at work, he's had several different experiences of strange things happening around him. One day while cleaning the bathrooms, he heard several stall doors slam shut when he was the only person in the room, and he can often sense what can only be described as a dark presence lingering nearby. Recently, while working late at night, one of his coworkers was too afraid to go on a certain floor of the building alone, so Miguel agreed to go with her. But when they made it to the 7th floor, a loud banging caught their attention. Realizing it was a door slamming shut, Miguel quickly pulled out his phone to record, and this is what he caught.
Yeah, I mean, BlastphamousHD, we at the BHD Army got to see what she looked like to see if we would accompany her to this floor of unsettledness that she wants us to go with her to. Okay, that's not good.
He stood incredibly still as he filmed down the long hallway when suddenly a dark shadow appeared. This shadowy figure stepped into view but seemed to stop and turn around at the exact moment that Miguel reacted. The sight of this transparent mass made him jump as it suddenly emerged from around the corner. Miguel and his coworker were left shaken up as they were the only 2 people on that floor, which leaves us to question who or what did he catch on camera.
One of my Zelda hearts of fear.
Number 2. A TikTok user named Steve has consistently documented his interactions with several different spirits over the last few years. He consistently uploads his evidence to TikTok, where he often catches voices and paranormal anomalies.
That's not good.
He claims there are several spirits that linger in his home, and one spirit in particular is named Tina. With a security camera set up in his bedroom, he woke up one morning to a notification that caught him off guard.
Is Tina bad?
This is really a great capture, and my wife and I are actually asleep on the bed when this happens.
Don't you scare me. Don't you do it. Huh? What?
In the middle of the night, his dog hopped out of bed, which according to Steve is very out of the ordinary. And after a quick stretch, he stopped and stared at something near the bed when suddenly a disembodied voice called out. After reviewing this video several times, Steve believes this voice is saying, "You're a friend."
Oh, that hurts.
On another night, while Steve was downstairs sitting on the couch, the security camera in his living room caught something rather strange.
Word? Oh, that's just awkward. That's kind of strange. Mostly awkward, though.
In the dark hallway, a white anomaly suddenly appeared. It was only visible for a brief moment as it quickly headed upstairs and out of view.
Word?
Steve's not quite sure what to make of this, as he was the only person downstairs. And whatever this thing is, it definitely does not look like a person. I commend him for his bravery to still live in his house with all this activity, because if I were him, I would happily be on a flight across the country by this point.
I'll be out of
Number
there.
3.
I can't do it.
Over the last few years, a bone-chilling haunting has taken over the home of a man named Diego. It's often when he's alone that this paranormal activity seems to strike. And when it does, he tries his best to catch it on camera to then post on TikTok. The entity in his home often appears to him as a child, but Diego has a hunch that it's something far more malevolent.
What the hell? Adios amigos as well. I jumped. That one got me. That one got me. Oh, God. Oh. Oh. You know how scary that would be? To hear random banging, walk out into your living room and it's a child that you don't know. Ha! Like, bro, oh God, it's up. That's like the worst part of every scary video game. Oh God. I just mean, yeah. Help. What do you mean, you? I need help. At least you're used to this.
Diego quickly flung the door open to reveal no one on the other side. But when he turned the corner, the same small child ran across the room. This tiny figure ran to the dark corner under the stairs. But as Diego ran to get a better look, this eerie child was once again nowhere to be found. After dealing with these terrifying events for some time, it began to take a toll on Diego.
You think?
He decided to stay somewhere else to finally get some peace. But his worst nightmare came true as the sinister entity seemed to follow him.
Are you serious?
Algo está sonando en el cuarto. Creo que es la cama.
What? Ah! Come on! You have the power to end this? Bruh, you can't find somebody's place that you want to call
After hearing
CPS?
noises under his bed, he went to investigate. But as he bent over to take a look underneath, the chilling sight of a child's legs were on the other side. This tiny pair of legs eerily walked towards the left, but as Diego stood up to get a good look at this figure, there was absolutely no one else inside the room.
Word?
Number 4.
Word?
On a YouTube channel called Ghost Tech Paranormal, investigators Jeff and Phil set out to investigate the spine-chilling activity in a home that's said to be haunted. A man named Kevin Butcher was born in June of 1941. He was an only child with 2 loving parents who ended up buying him this house in the late 1960s. Kevin eventually married a woman named Barbara, but things soon went sour, as she ended up leaving him and taking all his money. This left Kevin in a very dark place, as this heartbreak caused him to fall into a deep depression. From this point on, he was rarely seen by family and friends, and in 2013, he was unfortunately found dead in his home by neighbors. A couple named Jackie and Clive currently live in this house, and since they moved in, the unsettling things they've experienced have left them shaken and speechless. According to this couple, an intense feeling of unease seems to linger in every room. Jackie and Clive have heard footsteps walking up and down the stairs, and Clive is often woken up by the overwhelming presence of something dark in their room, leaving him too frightened to move, as he doesn't want to let it know that he's aware of its presence. With static cameras set up throughout the house, Jeff and Phil began their investigation.
Can you tell us why you stopped us from coming the first time?
What? Ew. What type of sex phone hotline are you talking to?
Quite a few people hurt
You
themselves.
trying to smash the ghosts?
Can you tell us why you did that?
Well, sir, you obviously...
Movement behind me coming from the kitchen.
Yeah, I heard that.
Can we see it? Is any...
As Phil and I are on the ground floor hallway, we hear movement come from behind us in the kitchen area. Here is the audio enhanced.
Movement behind me coming from the kitchen.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right off the bat, the sound of something moving was heard by both investigators. The two then made their way upstairs, where these eerie sounds continued.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Jeff. And the gentleman there holding that camera, I'm sure you've seen one of those before.
My name is Ho.
That's Phil.
Philip DeFranco? Philly D. Williams? Philly cheesesteak? I'm hungry. For food?
Movement in that room.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Move yourself into that room, because I think that's where the snack pantry is. Now, come on now, bro. Your name is obviously... You know, this guy's
So
name...
now we've introduced ourselves.
His name is Avery. Or something like that.
And
Avery,
you
get in the
started to
room.
communicate with us.
Yeah. Is that what a... Avery.
Can you draw the energy from somewhere so you can speak to us?
What? Like a Marvel superhero movie? Word? Draw what energy? Bitch, she ain't a vampire, is she? She suck blood.
I can hear you moving in front of me.
Does she suck other stuff? Like in GTA? San Andreas.
We both hear something moving inside the room
5.
where our motion detector activated, and it is captured on our audio.
Word?
Can you draw the energy from somewhere so you can speak to us? I can hear you moving in front of me. A clear voice saying help is heard as I ask the spirit of Kevin to join us downstairs. Here is the audio taken from my digital recorder. But don't be afraid of us or anything like that. Okay?
Help with what? You need life alert, man?
But don't be
then you
afraid of
can't
us
get
or
up?
anything like that. Okay?
This ghostly voice called out from within the static saying help. After heading back downstairs, Phil took over the EVP session, but what happened next is downright terrifying.
And you're going to need to try and communicate with us somehow, Kevin, because otherwise I'm just going to ask questions and I won't know whether I'm, communicating with you and you're happy, or whether I'm, annoying you, which I don't want to do.
It's gonna be hard to annoy a ghost.
Movement on the stairs.
Word?
Okay.
What movement? Describe to us.
I hear movement coming from the stairs, and our static cam in the lounge, which is filming that area, has captured what we believe to be the best footage of a spirit forming and then moving into a solid wall.
Word?
First, we will show the footage from our static cam in the lounge area. If you look at the top of the stairs, you will see a figure fall. We know that it's not contamination from the outside, and we have blacked out every window in the house. Watch as it slowly appears here behind the struts of the staircase. The figure is black and solid, and as I say to Phil that there is movement on the stairs, you can see my IR lights as I turn the camera towards that area. And as Phil and I make our way to the stairs, the figure then steps back into the wall and disappears.
Maybe. Only maybe.
The sound of movement on the stairs caught Jeff's attention, and later on, when reviewing the footage from the static camera facing the stairs, they couldn't believe what they caught. A dark figure slowly manifested into view on the staircase. This hair-raising figure stood incredibly still, not moving an inch for almost a minute. But as the guys headed that way, the light on Jeff's camera sent this apparition running. This dark silhouette quickly stepped back, going completely out of view. If we enhance the footage, we're left with no doubt that someone or something was standing on those stairs. But with Jeff and Phil being the only two people in the house, how exactly can this be explained? As the night went on, several other EVPs were caught, and strange sounds continued to echo throughout the house. But what Jeff would soon experience would send him reeling back in fear.
At this point in the investigation,
That's a 7
we decide to
EVPs.
take a
Wow.
break, which we
You know,
have done on several
Must
occasions
have a
throughout
ton
the
of
night.
cupcakes in that place.
The light switch to turn on the kitchen light is behind an
Like
unused
Big
door
Box.
in the hallway.
Best cupcakes.
The door opens only about 6
Or
inches,
donuts and
so
bacon.
the switch can be reached. On the other side of the door is a cupboard, which stops the door from opening fully. As I open the door to reach the switch, I see and touch a hand which is covering the switch. It is solid and pale grey in colour. As I touch it and see it at the same time, I jerk backwards, pulling my arm and shoulder.
What? What was it? What happened? You okay? Go on. You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
What happened?
Fucking hand on the door.
You saw a hand on the door.
Word.
The other side.
I f***ing hurt my arm as well. I yanked my arm. I pulled my arm right back. It scared me for a second. I reached for the light switch.
Yeah.
And there was already a hand there. There was a fucking hand there.
As Jeff reached for the light, a pale gray hand was already on the switch. He claims to have not only seen, but also touched this ghostly hand. Unfortunately, this hand wasn't caught on camera, but from his reaction, what he saw seems all too real. Number 5. Over on TikTok, a guy named Randy often posts funny, relatable videos. But something that he's mentioned on his account before is thinking that his house may be haunted. He recently installed a Ring camera in his living room, and one night, several notifications from this camera continued to pop up on his phone. Thinking it was just his dogs, he wasn't worried. But after watching the footage, fear quickly set in.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. Yep. Immediately
Everything
eviction.
in the room was still until a chair at the dining table suddenly jolted across the floor. This sudden movement definitely looks like someone yanked the chair out, someone that we cannot see. Then moments later, the chair continued to slide across the room and out of view. Randy has no explanation for this, but if I were him, I would avoid sitting in that chair at all costs. Number 6. Over on a TikTok account called WV Paranormal, a man often posts videos of the strange, unexplainable things that happen around him. He lives in a house that's surrounded by woods that give off an eerie vibe once the sun goes down. Several security cameras are placed around his home, and one day in October, the camera on his back door caught something that made his jaw drop.
What type of... What in the world of seventh heaven is this? Was this really? Tinkerbell? Huh? Was this, Static Shock in real life, maybe?
In the middle of the day, a bright ball of light eerily hovered into view of the camera. As it drifted through the air, this glowing anomaly remained about 3 feet off the ground. This bizarre phenomenon looks like a mini sun and is something that I've never seen before. People in the comments are torn, with some firmly believing that he caught an angel on camera. But is this actually something supernatural, or possibly just CGI?
I mean,
you decide. Number 7. Back in 2023, a man named Jorge was driving down the road with his family when something in the distance caught his eye. The lights on a church ominously flickered over and over. He decided to hop out of the car and record a quick video of himself outside of the church. But according to Jorge, as soon as he got home, the energy in the house felt heavier. Within the next few days, terrifying things began to happen to him, his wife, and their kids. Fast forward to today, and Jorge is still dealing with a malevolent force that refuses to leave his family alone.
Oh, this from a picture of the church? Upside down cross? How you get a demon from a church? It's supposed to be the house of God, man. How you get... Whole house is infested, bro. We're gonna have to dust down all of your valuables for ghost residue and ghost fingerprints. What happened? Now, if you just send the Cash App to Jorge, 652.
I don't even want to wake you up.
Uh-oh.
What the? Leave us alone. Leave us alone. We're not scared of you anymore.
Oh, you ain't?
Leave us alone.
Oh, don't say that.
Just sit back down.
Sound like an angry black woman.
I'm not waking up the babysitter. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Leave us alone.
You about to get got. Oh!
Okay.
Yeah. Who's scared now? Huh? Talking all that female masculinity crap. It's always different. Yep. Really? Is that not supposed to be moving like that?
As his wife sat at a table with their daughter, the cross on the wall suddenly flipped upside down. The remote on the couch then got flung to the floor, and it was at this moment that she stood up to firmly demand this spirit to leave them alone. But in response, a chair at the table was yanked out by an unseen force. She finally had enough, grabbed her baby, and her and her kids got the hell out of there. But it looks like this spirit wasn't quite done. Because of this activity, several cameras are set up around the house. And late one night, the camera in their bedroom caught something downright bone-chilling.
Haunted house? Yup. No comprende. Ocupado. We already up in here. Hey, look, bro. I know you probably got something you need to do, but right now the goose is loose, and I don't know what that means. But I ain't opening the door. Alright? So you got to figure it out. And look, you knock again, I'm gonna stab you with the sharp end of this gum. You know? And yes, oh God. You don't have a gun, do you? Ooh. Can you not have a gun? What the hell was that? Really? No! No! Oh, so you ain't gonna wait. You just gonna open the door anyway. You impolite douche. Very, very impolite. She ride and die. She thug life. Though ain't gonna slam behind her, is it? Jinx.
While everyone was sleeping, the unsettling sound of banging came from the other side of their door. As this banging continued, the door slowly began to creak open, and Jorge's wife slowly approached before exiting the room. But as she did, the bedroom door closed shut completely on its own. Dealing with this activity has been a constant struggle for this family, and if I were to give some advice, maybe contact a priest, or like 7 priests. Number 8. A Reddit user that would like to remain anonymous recently posted a video to the Ghost subreddit in search for answers. According to this user, they just moved to the middle of nowhere, with a thick forest surrounding their home. There's no neighbors around, and the house is on a fenced-in hill that makes it impossible to get up to. Since moving in, they've been unable to ignore the creepy vibe that they get inside the house. And one night, the security camera on their porch caught something rather unnerving.
What? Is that a ghost flying? Word? Is that what he doing? Okay. He's just walking back and forth. He's just pacing. Not better, but still not good.
As the video begins, a white figure can be seen walking across the yard. This ghostly figure then headed in the opposite direction as it walked parallel to the trees. Whatever this figure is, it appears to be wearing a long white dress, but no other features are visible. With no neighbors around for miles, you can imagine the shock this Reddit user felt when they discovered this footage. And they've been left to question who or what was creeping around their yard.
I question more than that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Lord knows after watching the one where the baby was walking up under the bed and you could only see his feet, I'm going to go pray to Fortnite. Twisms.